Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Braiden. This is a video about Max Ernst, and this is my first take. Um, so, Max Ernst was born April 2nd, 1981, in Brühl, Germany. He was born the third of nine children into a middle class family where his painter dad inspired his love for art and his hatred for authority. Later on, he attended the University of Bonn for psychology, where he studied mentally ill asylum patients and became fascinated with their artwork. This, along with works from Pablo Picasso, Paul Gauguin, and Van Gogh, inspired him to start painting himself. While in school, he became friends with August Mack, a fellow painter, and joined his Die Rheinischen Expressionisten group of artists. Shortly after, in 1914, he was drafted into the German army in World War I, where he saw the horrors of war, and where his friend Mack was killed. After returning home in 1918, his discontent with the war and the conformity and nationalism that came with it began to show in his artwork. These pieces helped pioneer the Dada movement, which was abstract art meant to reject the structure of capitalism and the logic that we're used to in our everyday lives. To do this as effectively as possible, Ernst wanted his subconscious to be in control when he painted, so that the final result is nothing specific and is left up to your own interpretation. In his piece Above the Clouds, created in 1920, you can see how he brings different elements together, which in their own context would make sense, but when put together, become something difficult to wrap your head around. The Elephant Celebes is his most iconic work. It features some kind of gas mask, elephant war machine, which is polluting the sky, with a flagpole in the background. Flags are usually a symbol of pride in a specific nation, but this flagpole is flagless, maybe because there's no pride to be had when this war machine is bringing destruction, being guided by the headless Mickey Mouse hand mannequin. This piece is called Birds, Also Birds, Snake, and Scarecrow. Even his titles can be somewhat abstract. I honestly have no idea what's happening in this piece, but it's still one of my favorites, which I guess goes to show that you don't have to understand art to appreciate it. I just realized what the birds are luring the fish and the parachute rock thing into their mouths with isn't their tongues, it's something different. Maybe it's their souls or something. I don't know. His piece of Friends Reunion features a group of people sitting on either nothing or each other, some of which are numbered. There's also two numbered lists of names in the bottom and left right corners. In the bottom left and right corners, I actually counted the number of names on the list and the number of people, and there's a lot more people than names. Also, looks like maybe they're trying to summon Shenron in the bottom left. Um, Someone will hopefully get that. Uh, this is his piece, Foray e Cologne. Forests often appear in German literature as a symbol of enchantment and terror, meaning they lure you in and then terrorize you. Maybe this dark forest is using this pretty bird as its lure, because you might not notice, just as the person being lured would notice, that the bird's actually in a cage that kind of blends in with the darkness of the forest. With this piece, you can really see how his subconscious takes over when he works. I think Ernst might not have even known what this meant. If I had to guess, though, I would say it has to do with this mother bird figure loving her children, so maybe it's saying love is where art comes from. I don't know. Oh, Max Ernst also sculpted. I'm pretty sure that this exact face is used as some company's logo, but it's like blue. I can't think of the company, but I hope he was credited for it. For this piece, Ernst used a technique called frottage, which is when you rub your drawing material over your paper on top of an uneven surface to show its details. You might have done this in like elementary school with like pennies and stuff, but it's a real technique that artists use, and it can yield some pretty cool results. His piece Red Forest looks like a picture of a 3D space, but it's actually just an oil painting, which goes to show that if Ernst wanted, he had no problem switching from his usual style to a much more realistic style. Ernst was all about individuality and refusing to conform, so I think the contrast between the unique piece of wood and the sawed down plank is really interesting. I don't know what the nails are all about though. It's beyond me. He created the dull military broods in front of my right wing in Paris, the place where he died, just a year before he died. Again, I don't know what to make of this piece, but I think it's interesting to see the bubble of realistically drawn guns in the top left corner compared to the rest of the painting, which is very abstract. Uh, that's it. That's all. Thanks for watching. You know.